Hi, for today's song of the day, we are looking at Rude by Shygirl. This is an electronic artist that I started getting into last year. She makes like really intense, very like sonically abrasive music that still has like a really clubby sort of energy. Like it still feels very danceable and approachable and immediate. Like it's not too intellectually abstracted from kind of traditional dance music. And yet, as I say, sonically, in terms of the way it's actually put together, it's very abrasive and aggressive. So this one starts with like this relentless siren sound um, that we hear variants of throughout the entire thing, and this kind of judgmental, cold voice reading this kind of screed about how rude you are. Finishing with the kind of title drop that you're just so damn rude, and it feels like genuinely very harsh. Like it triggers something like very kind of primordial. I think in your sort of social brain, that even though you know it's a song, even though you know that this person can't see you, that this is one half of an interaction that you did not actually participate in, you still feel judged. You still feel like a harshness that comes through, and with the whirring siren sound, really becomes very exhilarating. At least for me. Maybe that doesn't sound pleasant to you, but for me, I'm all about it. And from there, it breaks into this kind of longer ending part where it just repeats closer, smoother, closer, smoother, smoother, closer. And again, this sort of nightmarish intensity where you don't really know what this is in reference to. You don't really know, is she asking you to be closer and smoother as opposed to rude? Um, is she kind of returning to this idea of like getting you an out? Um, Saying that it maybe this isn't intentional. Like if you were just a little smoother, if you would just be a little closer to me, you wouldn't end up sounding so rude. We don't really know, but it definitely feels like not only are you being judged, but now you're kind of being given an opportunity or something to make good. And meanwhile, the music, there's a really cool part where it switches from sort of this upward swooping siren sound to something like much lower, and it shifts. I think it's like the same interval, but it's now shifted down or something, or maybe that it goes to the same note, but now it shifts to that note an octave lower. I don't know. I would have to like think about it a little more. But it's like a very nice moment of subversion where you definitely think that it's just going to continue with the pattern that's been established, where it's already like shifted a few times, but it's remained like the same relative interval. And then it flips it on you right at the end here, um, with this like new pattern, and it kind of has this feeling, this like revelatory feeling of completeness, resolution. Ah, now I get it. But again, it's sort of like a false hope that you still haven't resolved any of like the tension or the aggression in the song so far. It's more just that you kind of feel like now the opportunity has passed. All of this is bundled up in a very short, tight song, only 2 minutes long or so. So it just really blasts you through this entire experience. And it's a perfect opener for this little EP, which I think is a wonderful sampler of her talents. I'm very excited to see what other projects she comes out with. I think this is the only thing so far by Shygirl. I think there's some stuff that's like associated with it, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You should check it out. Even though I made it sound like some intense nightmarish experience where It replicates the feeling of being in a nightclub and someone's angry at you, but you can barely understand what they're even trying to say. Um, if you haven't had that experience, I even haven't had that experience, but I'm sure this is what it feels like. Um, uh, it's I recommend it. Try being yelled at in a club and being called rude. Um, but yeah, I really recommend it to anyone who likes kind of abrasive, complex electronica music. Okay, that's it for Song of the Day today.